Protests in the wake of the death of George Floyd's death continued today around the U.S. and here in Tampa Bay. But in Joe Chillura Courthouse Square Park, a protest focused on a slightly different cause than that took place there. 10 Tampa Bay's Madison Allworth was there and spoke with organizers.
A protest for protesters, the group behind me demanding that charges be dropped against demonstrators that were arrested during George Floyd protests. Protesters are taking their appeal straight to State Attorney Andrew Warren.
We don't want to single out individual protesters. We want to have a broad base approach to it because at the end of the day, it is our right to assemble, our right to protest, and your freedom of speech.
Protesters are not convinced that every arrest is justified.
It would require them to have knowledge of every individual that's actually engaged in that. Instead, we're having a situation where because something did occur, they're indiscriminately charging people with things that they may not have directly done.
And even in the cases where the evidence may be clearer, they believe clearing protesters' names is the right thing to do.
Again, that frustration bubbles up, and I don't think it's unreasonable to think that someone would throw a water bottle at what they perceive as being the state. In fact, I would argue on top of that is one of the most minor responses to decades and decades of enduring injustice.
State Attorney Warren has said that his office is still awaiting information regarding the arrests, and he cannot make a decision about how to handle cases until they have reviewed all of the relevant facts. Protesters say they will continue to fight for justice, for George Floyd and his black brothers and sisters, and for protesters in Tampa Bay.
400 years of systemic and institutional oppression that needs to change. The virus of racism is much more dangerous than the virus of coronavirus, and we need to change it now, or it's going to be the downfall of our society.
The group today was also advocating for a Civilian Police Accountability Council, or a CPAC. It's a democratically chosen group of civilians that would help oversee the police.